Captain America Brave New World, my most anticipated movie of this year. And the critics are not giving it good reviews. It is sitting at 52 or 48. It keeps changing for the Rotten Tomatoes, which is a ton of baloney, if you ask me. I think the movie was pretty good, but it's really hard to top the Russo brothers with the Captain America sequels. So it's really hard to... MCU has been struggling recently with fans and the box office and critical stuff lately. And honestly, some of it is justifiable, some of it is not. I feel like Sam's character is pretty good. I know he's not Steve Rogers, but he still does a pretty good job. Falcon's replacement is alright. I mean, you see him if you watch the Falcon Winter Soldier show, which I would recommend watching. Harrison Ford does a pretty good job as Thunderbolt Ross, replacing William Hurt, because he unfortunately passed away. But I feel like Harrison Ford does a pretty good job. And we were waiting for years to see the Red Hulk. Finally do get to see him, even though there was some anticlimactic stuff at the end. And I felt like the ending could have been much better. And we also see another two characters that we haven't seen in 16 years. We get to finally see the leader who was teased in the Incredible Hulk movie. And you see Betty Ross for a minute. And there's a few surprises in there, which I'm not going to spoil. The action is pretty good. It's still not going to top the Winter Soldier, Civil War, the Endgame, or Infinity War, any of the Russo brothers directed type films. I mean, the guy who directed it does a pretty good job. The dude from Breaking Bad was pretty good, but I feel like they could have done more with his character. Overall, the pacing was pretty good. The CGI, for the most part, was pretty decent. Especially the Red Hulk was pretty damn good, and that was how the Red Hulk should be. Again, I was a little sad that it's not a lot of Red Hulk screen time, but at least you get to see some of it. Hopefully in the future, you see more of Red Hulk. I don't know. What else? It's also getting ratings bombs from fans who don't like that Sam Wilson is Captain America. If you actually read the comics, he does become Captain America, so it's just not out of nowhere. But overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was still pretty good. And the next big movie is the Thunderbolts in the MCU, and then Fantastic Four. I wonder what's going to happen after that. And there is one post-credit scene. I'm trying to think of anything else other than it being a solid movie, and it does not deserve the hate that it's getting. I don't know why it's getting low ratings. Yes, there's problems with the film. Like, in the beginning, I actually you shouldn't notice it, but I noticed it. Like, the stunt man for Sam Wilson was a little noticeable on one of the action scenes on a few seconds. I noticed it, but other than that, the fight scenes are fine. And the villain is actually very good, though, again, he doesn't get enough screen time either, but maybe you see him in the future, in future installments. And also, I also feel like it's tying up loose ends with certain films. Like, it's kind of a sequel to The Incredible Hulk in a way, and it also ties up with the Eternals, with that robot thing for at the end. You actually get to see that thing in there, what they're doing with that, and they introduce something else that's really huge. If you're an X-Men fan, you will probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, overall, it's a good movie, and hopefully it doesn't flop because I thought it was good.